Hello, West High Varsity. So, as you can see, this is what the look is that we're going to be going for. It's pretty washed out. It's, really basic, a little bit pale, but a really kind of dramatic, dark, scary sort of eye. So, this is what the finished look is going to be like, and then I'm going to break down for you how to get from point, blank to here. So here we go. Feel free to ask questions and leave comments at the end if you still need some help. So let's start at the top. Okay, so the first thing you're going to want to do before applying anything onto your face is use some moisturizer. Okay, I'm using Bare Minerals. It's a purely nourishing moisturizer, but I don't really care what brand you use at all. Like whatever works for your face. It's really difficult to apply makeup to dry skin, and if you do, it ends up looking kind of cakey and scaly sometimes, and it will just like make your skin even more dry. So go ahead and completely get your face moisturized before even thinking about putting any makeup on. Make sure that you get underneath your chin also. You're going to be applying down there. I really hate when you see the line from where people stopped applying and then it looks like a mask. So I like to blend all the way underneath. Make sure to get under your eyes also, and you're just going to want to get a small amount of moisturizer, and then don't wipe underneath your eyes because it's really sensitive skin. You're going to want to put a little bit underneath and then tap it until it blends all the way in. And then go ahead and do the same thing on the top. Okay, now we're ready to start applying. Okay, so the next step is foundation. And I would actually like you to get a foundation that's probably 1 or 2 shades lighter than what your actual skin tone is, because I want you to look a little pale. I don't have any for myself right now, so I'm just going to use my regular color, which is kind of tan. So you're just going to make some spots. And then once you get enough that you have to spread around, then you can just start rubbing it. Some people use a brush to apply their foundation. That's perfectly acceptable. I like to use my fingers. Maybe that's not the best thing for your skin because of the oils in your fingers going into your pores, but I made sure to wash my hands first. I like to be able to feel where the coverage is, and if it feels like I don't have enough in a certain area, then I will add more. And foundation is really just your base, like your It's just what it sounds like, you know, the foundation. It's really just, you know, giving you a smooth coverage so that like it evens out the different colors in your face, and then you're ready to add more layers on from there. Cool, so now we're ready to get started on the look. So now that you have your foundation on, I am taking a compact, which as you can see is much lighter than what my skin tone would be. Like, it's not an everyday look by anyone's standards. Usually you want to match as close as possible to your real skin tone. We are not going to be doing that because we're not going for an everyday look. We are trying to look like aliens, so I'm going for really pale, and I kind of want it to look like someone who obviously does not have access to a beach or anything, you know. So I'm taking the really light compact. This is by Tarte, and the color is Champagne. And clearly, ladies, as you know, I am not a champagne color, so you're going to want to just start and then really start to blend it in. Make sure that you get all the way to your hairline, because you don't want, you know, that like line all the way around where you can see what your actual skin tone looks like, and then, you know, it's as if you're wearing a mask, and we want it to look like this is what your actual skin looks like. Pale and pasty. I know some of you don't need much help with that, but it is what it is. So I'm covering like my whole face with this because I really want a consistent shade to all of my skin. You know, so I'm not looking really pale like on my chin, but my nose is really dark. That doesn't make any sense. And remember, when you're working underneath here, that you want to blend. You don't want to see a line where you stopped applying makeup. It should go past where people will see. And don't be afraid to get it on your eyebrows. And you're going to see why a little bit later. This is actually a really cool color because it is pretty shimmery, so it kind of has this iridescent quality to it, which is kind of cool because it definitely doesn't look like an average look. It's kind of shiny. I don't know if you can see from the light, but it's a little bit sparkly, and I like that. Okay. So this next step is actually kind of a really old drag tip. I doubt any of you are really going to be in drag anytime soon, but because you're actually female, so you don't really need to. But I am using a glue stick, and what you're going to do is you're going to apply it right on top of your eyebrows. And I know that sounds weird, but you'll understand why in a second. So it should be enough that it feels tacky, like, and I don't mean tacky as in like a look from the thrift store. I mean tacky as in like slightly sticky. Okay, and then after that, you're going to take your foundation, which I'm using that color that is darker now than what everything else is, but you're going to put it right on top of the glue. And you see, like, my eyebrow is already starting to disappear, so now you get why we're doing this. So try as much as you can to use your like liquid foundation to apply over the glue. It's only going to get you so far. Okay, so that's pretty much as good as it's going to get, especially since this foundation that I'm using is really light. Well, no, I take that back. It's dark compared to everything else. I just made all of my skin a lot lighter, and this foundation is like a honey color, so it's obviously not going to blend that well. But after it starts to dry, then you're going to take your compact again. And then I would recommend like folding your little sponge in half and then just dab on top of that. And if you need to add more glue, you can do that also. I'm going to attempt to do that. I don't know how much it's going to help at this point because of the issue with the foundation. You want to try and make your eyebrows disappear altogether. But I probably have thicker eyebrows than most of you. Like longer, and you know, my brow itself is probably wider. So you'll probably have a lot easier time, especially if you have lighter hair than you have like blonde eyebrows, then you will probably have a much easier time than those of us with darker eyebrows. And so that's as far as we're going to get with that, so I'm just going to stop there. So the next step is going to be eyeliner. You can go with whatever liner you're used to working with as long as it's black. If you want to use a pencil, that's fine. If you want to use liquid, that's fine. It's up to you. It's your choice. As long as it's dark, black. Like, it's gotta really be dark. So, the easiest way that I do this to like make sure I'm going straight and not crooked and doesn't get thicker all the time is I start with like a finger on the outside of my eye, and then I kind of just pull it tight like that, and that way you can just go straight across. And you're going to want to go all the way to the center. I don't do that most of the time, but again, this is not an everyday look. Yeah? And obviously you can see the difference between the two now. So go ahead and do the same thing to the other side. Nice and dark. There we have it. So after that, you're going to want to get a black shadow. And I'm using just the Sephora brand little palette, and then I'm just using the like black, just regular black, nothing special to it. And then I'm going to start with a really thin angled brush, and I don't pay a lot of money for brushes. I'm just going to let you know that. Like, some people get really crazy about like where they get their stuff. I have bought all of my stuff from CVS, and it works just fine for me. So I am not like a snob when it comes to supplies. So you're just going to get your angled brush. Make sure that when you're putting it on, that all you're doing is like tapping the color, and then with the excess just blow it off. So you're not getting like black powder that's falling all down your face. And then you're going to go right underneath the line that you just created. Yeah? And from there, you're going to start to pull it down a little bit. So it's going to kind of look like you haven't slept in a long time. Which in my case, since it is currently 1 a.m., is true. Yeah, so we see that it's almost kind of looks like you've been crying for a little bit, and your makeup's running, but that's kind of what we're going for. So I kind of really want it like sort of smoky under there, and almost, yeah, like a little messy, and you're just pulling it down enough that you're going to be able to see it from far away. Yeah, so we can see the difference there. And then you're just going to do the exact same thing to the other side. So make sure you blow off the excess so it's not getting all over everything else that you just made really nice. And then start pulling down. And just keep in mind, you know, again, this is not the most attractive look in the world, but we are not trying to look attractive, or human for that matter. Like, we're really trying to look unusual and bizarre, but, you know, not ugly. Obviously, I mean, your complexion should look nice. I mean, and you want to look like your skin is even. So I don't want you to look haggard. I just want you to look unusual. So once you have that all underneath, you're gonna want to do the same thing on the top, right above your lash. Just kind of go all the way across, so that your eye kind of looks sunken in. And again, if that's hard for you to do, you can do the same trick over again by just pulling it so that it's straight, so you have a line to just follow all the way across. If you're not used to putting on makeup and working so close to your eye is difficult, like, I apologize in advance, because there's just no getting around it. So you might want to be prepared with some like tissues so that you can wipe your tears so you don't ruin the rest of your makeup. It's kind of just something you gotta get used to. Yeah, so now it's pretty dark, like all around the edge of your eye. So we're really starting to get that kind of eerie feeling. I'm not completely happy with the eyebrows, but you know, I don't have to do this for myself, so I'm sure you're going to be more successful since your eyebrows are going to be thinner, and you're probably going to be prepared with the right color foundation to put over it, since I'm using like something like this dark. Yeah. But yeah, so that is the eye. I could probably make that a little bit darker. So I'm going to play with that a little bit, and then we're going to move on to the next step. Okay, so now we're going to do a little bit of contouring. So I'm just taking a regular blush brush. It's kind of round. And I'm going to take a color that's just slightly lighter than that, or darker than the compact that I used and the foundation that you should be using that's going to make you feel really pale. So I'm just using this like kind of tan one right there. It's just slightly darker. Like I don't want it to look like you have bronzer on, or that you're tan or anything, like just enough. So you're going to start up at the top here, and you're going to follow your hairline. All the way to like your ear. And then once you get to your cheekbone, you're going to want to like get the round edge and follow your cheekbone down. And it's going to give you a little bit more dimension and like make that bone kind of stick out so it's more prominent. And then then do the same thing on the other side. Follow the hairline. And then down the cheekbone. If you have a hard time like finding the right line to follow, an easy way to almost like make like a cheat sheet for yourself is by sucking your cheeks in. So if you just kind of, that's the line to follow. Look into that little dimple right there. And that's really it. Like, I don't want it to be, it shouldn't look extreme. Like, just a little bit enough that you're accenting a little bit. Yeah? Cool. And then you should probably also use it like right below your chin so that your jawline is also a little bit more prominent. Okay. So next, we're going to start on lashes. So we're going to be doing the mascara now on your eye, and basically all you're going to do is get your mascara. I'm using Buxom, and it is by Bare Essentials, and the color is Loud Black. And the cool thing about it is that it kind of has this little twisty thing on the brush. So if you watch, like, it will either stretch out and get longer, or you can tighten it up, and now it's like really short. I'm going to keep it on that one because I have really thick, long lashes, and the closer it is together, like the harder it is. I like a really hard brush because to get through my lashes, it needs to be like harder and thinner. But if you have thinner lashes that aren't so tough to use, like a bushier kind of brush is fine. So you're just going lip, and then you're making wavy motions like that on your way out, and you're starting in the center and going up, 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 all the way across, and then you're getting the tip, and then you're going up that way, just to separate them. Yeah, and then you're doing the same thing to the other side. So wavy as you go up and out, and then take the tip, and don't forget the bottom. Yeah, so like the eye is pretty loud now, and I think I need that black a little bit darker underneath because we want it to look pretty eerie. And I'm not one of these people that believes less is more, more is more, so feel free to just like keep piling it on. As all of you know, I'm not the most modest person in the world, so, you know, why hold back? Yeah, I like that a lot better. And then make sure that you're pulling it down. Yeah. Lovely. Yeah, much more dark. So now you can start to see how, like, when we have certain faces that we make in the show, that it's going to make a big difference. You know, with all of that, it's going to just make everything look a lot more expressive. So, so yeah. So now we're done with our eye. So the very last thing you do is just going to be a lip. And once again, just like with your face, if your lips are dry, like, really make sure you moisturize first before you put anything on. And what I'm going to do is just take a clear gloss. This is Shine Sensational. And it's just by Maybelline. Once again, like, I'm not a snob about where you get your stuff. And then I'm just going to go right on top of the chapstick. Just enough that it's like kind of shimmery like that. And then I'm going to take some of this really light colored compact that I used on everything else, and then I'm going to go over it because I almost want it to look like I don't have lips. That there's, you know, you don't want it to look kind of like rosy colored like that, like completely separate than the rest of your skin. Because you don't want to look human. So see how it's like almost completely disappeared. That's great. And then just to add a little bit more shine to it, I'm just going to take some more gloss and just put it right over it and tap so I'm not wiping off anything. And then yeah, so it's pale, but it's got like some shine, iridescence to it. So as you can see, like, I look pretty gray, and that's really the look that you want to go for. Like, you want to look pale and almost sick, because we're not human, we're aliens. And so, you know, I really want the vibe to come across right away, as soon as you step onto the floor, that you are not supposed to be human. And yeah, so this is the complete look. It's a little bit more basic than what we have done in the past. Like, it's not a lot of colors, it's not anything too like all over the place. You're really kind of washed out. It's just the black is doing a lot of the work for you. So that is that. So if you have any questions, feel free to like leave a comment and I'll try to get back to you. But other than that, this is it. So thanks, and I hope this was helpful. Please give me feedback if this was a lot easier for you to understand what I'm asking you than just doing a class one day and then, you know, that's that. I mean, let me know which was more helpful for you. And so this is just experimental for this year, and if this didn't really work, then we don't have to do it again. But I thought that, for one, this would be more fun for you to watch, for two, more helpful. So let me know, and have a good night, and I will talk to you all tomorrow. Bye.